One more day to go, then the sunshine will return. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. So yeah, it's a little bit gray, a little bit not all that nice out there for your day today, right? Temperatures still about 15 degrees below where they should be for this time of year. And I got some of those gray skies. If you look off in the distance, you can see a little bit of that snow on up by Rocky Mountain National Park. That snow will eventually make its way down here into the Denver area, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any sort of a big deal for us here in town, with maybe a few flurries, a little ice, ice pellets mixing their way into some of that snow later on this afternoon. No accumulation expected. Would not adjust your plans for today, despite the fact that we could see a little bit of light snow and some graupel. So the sun returns tomorrow, and then wait till you see the weekend with much nicer, much warmer weather back into the picture by then. But for now, yeah, today we are looking at kind of dreary gray skies, thanks to a northerly push of air, and that's bringing us cooler temperatures, some gusty winds, but also some periodic snow showers, and here along the plains as well as we get later on through the afternoon. So we're getting that northerly push of air. This is a very weak system moving its way through our region, but again, could see a little bit of snow, a little bit of graupel, and maybe even some sleet pellets mixing their way into the picture as well. Temperatures, though, upper 30s, low 40s. That means that anything that falls will have all sorts of difficulty sticking, even a grassy surface. It's too warm with that sun angle, too, for even snow for it to stick on grass or on car tops, anything like that. I'm not even sure we're going to see accumulation on those areas. Mountains, though, 20s and 30s. Could see a little accumulation north of I-70 later on this afternoon. So again, some of these periodic snow showers. Wouldn't be surprised, since I have a little bit more time to explain this, the mechanism behind this is what we would term convective, and it's the same process that leads to thunder showers, thunderstorms in the summer. It's the same sort of idea that's leading to this snowfall that we're seeing along the eastern plains today. It's unstable, and the point is you could see a burst, kind of a brief, maybe 10-15 minute burst of snow from Denver on east this afternoon and this evening, maybe even a graupel pellet or two mixing its way in there as well, and that could, again, briefly lead to some periodic issues out there from Denver on east, but I think most of us, 99% of us, should avoid any sort of issues from this snow later on this afternoon. All right, closer look in here. Again, 4 or 5 o'clock around the rush hour. Just don't be surprised. You get one of these little bursts of snow that briefly drops visibility, may even in some cases maybe leave a little bit of frost almost out on the grass, right? A little bit of a coating, but for the most part, I think we're going to be looking at a low impact winter weather event today. That said, we do have the chance for some graupel. So what is graupel? You've probably heard that term, but what exactly is it? So long story short, it's when you get a snowflake that initially, even when you're talking about the middle of the summer, most precipitation way up there starts as snow, and as it falls, graupel will accumulate a little bit of ice around the edge of the snowflake. So kind of think of a Tootsie Pop, where in the center of a Tootsie Pop, of course, you've got the little piece of chocolate or whatever. In this case, in graupel, the middle of it is a snowflake, and then around it you've got these rings of super cooled water. Basically, it's ice, right? And the result of that is it's kind of a soft-ish type of hail, softish type of ice pellet, and the end result is it kind of looks like Dippin' Dots. Remember the ice cream? I actually had that recently. It's been a little while, but again, super cooled water around a snowflake, and it tends to happen when it's really, really cold aloft, way up there, and then at the surface it's fairly mild. Like today in the upper 30s, low 40s, it's fairly mild. So the end result is you get this kind of mushy little bit of ice for us here at the surface. I know it was a long explainer, but it's a question I feel like we get a lot, is what exactly graupel is. And the long story short is it's a snowflake at the center with rings of ice around it. Now, snowfall for us here into the mountains, we've got the potential for maybe an inch or two in some spots, but most of us will avoid any sort of meaningful accumulation even in the mountains. Forecast lows tonight, 20s to 30s eastern plains, teens and 20s as you head up in elevation. Now, you've probably been waiting for this, for tomorrow and for the next few days. Yes, that is the much nicer weather that is in the forecast, with mostly sunny skies for your day tomorrow, and those temperatures getting on up into the mid-50s. That'll feel much warmer. In fact, it's actually still below average for this time of year, but you will be looking at temperatures that are, generally speaking, going to be looking at, again, a little bit below average. By the way, I'm taking your questions or your comments on Facebook, and I do have a question from Linda who's asking about strong wind in Littleton. And sorry I haven't addressed this already yet, but we do have some periodically gusty winds for us. Those winds will be with us through the remainder of your afternoon and tonight, but those winds kind of gradually slacken tonight and tomorrow. Still a little bit blustery tomorrow. Notice 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, but the winds shouldn't be as strong as today. We have seen some gusts in the 40 to even 50 mile an hour range east of I-25. So just worth keeping in mind that we could be seeing some periodically gusty winds through the remainder of your day today and into your day tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, again, those gusts getting on up perhaps to 20, 25 miles an hour. Then tomorrow night, those winds do back on off, but overall tomorrow, a much nicer day compared to today and yesterday. And if you think tomorrow's nice, wait till the rest of the week with those 60s and even 70s popping on up. And we could be even talking about 75 degrees for the end of the weekend. So much, much nicer weather ahead. So if you've been kind of a little bit tired of this gray and unsettled weather, well, don't worry. We've got much nicer weather ahead over the course of the next few days. Taking a look here one more time, any comments or questions, and Cheryl asking about the wind. Again, the wind does back on off as we get through the remainder of your day today and into tomorrow. I do think we'll see some of those gusts through the remainder of the afternoon, perhaps into the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. But then as we get into tomorrow, we're talking about maybe closer to 20, 25 mile an hour gusts. So the winds tomorrow, a lot softer than today. But again, we do have the chance for some of those winds to hang around for the next couple of hours. Tonight, again, a little bit softer than today. And then tomorrow, a little bit softer than tonight, and then the wind's basically done entirely by Thursday morning. Hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect over the next couple of days. Enjoy the nice weather tomorrow and the rest of the week. Today, unfortunately, dealing with some of that snow and perhaps some of that graupel as well. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your day.